today's video we're going to talk about the magic move. Now this is a movement that many of you have probably stumbled across before when you've been prowling for golf tips on the internet, but it is something that defines a really good golfer. So the magic move, I'm going to do one thing in particular, is I'm going to focus on the body rotation, and I'm going to use an alignment stick because I think this is a good way for you guys to practice it as well. So when we're focusing very much on the body move first and foremost, what needs to happen is we need to do a couple of things. We need to sort of turn whilst kind of shifting weight, okay? So what I mean is, like, shifting weight is like allow your head to kind of move a little bit as well, but particularly your lower body. See the way this is kind of like a bit of a weight shift. And then like a turn is like this. So if we want to turn while shifting weight, you have to kind of do what I'm doing now, which is quite a downward feeling, okay? More downward than you'd probably realize. Now, a great telling sign here is weight pressure or lead leg flexion, okay? So what I mean by this is if I've got a student, for example, who struggles in transition, so they kind of move kind of this way, you sort of mean this leg, you want to be like that. See how much I'm getting down in towards that lead leg. And this is the sort of first phase of rotating, coming in towards the downswing. See the way my lead leg stays nice and flexed, I'm really pushing pressure down in towards that lead leg. Now, perfect, okay? So that's the first part of it, okay? But the problem is that if you kind of turn your upper body in the same way, you'll worry about coming over the top. So what I mean by that is if I introduce a little plane line here and you start to kind of do this, you'll go, well, Russ, I get that. I feel loads of weight pressure. Lead leg is nice and flexed, but I kind of going to come massively over the top. So how do we stop that from happening? Well, there's two things. The first one is your trail arm, okay, the functionality of the trail arm. And the second one is a movement that's known as separation, but we'll come to that point very much last. So what you need to do as you start the downswing is we need to kind of shallow the golf club, right? And what that basically means is as you start the downswing, you need to make sure that the club head moves behind the body, not kind of to the side of the body, and certainly not in front of the body, kind of more behind the body. And the way you're going to do that is by ensuring that your forearm points up towards the sky. Okay, see what I'm doing here? Like so. Now what this does is this gets the club coming down on plane, and when you incorporate a nice aggressive rotational movement in that start to the downswing, and you keep the forearm upward facing, you've got a good blend for a good start to the downswing. And that is the magic move that we are after. So the last little point would be, you know, this sort of feeling, and I'm just going to grab one more alignment stick, the feeling of impact. And because I get that question a lot, it's like, what should impact really feel like? And I would say, ideally, if you can start your downswing, okay, so let me grab my golf club here and swing it single-handedly. So if you can start the downswing where you move nicely in towards that lead side, okay, like so, that's a good start to the downswing. See the way that I'm keeping my forearm pointing up towards the sky like so, like this, and then as I come in towards this sort of impact area, I can kind of keep my lower body rotating out of the way. So see the way, excuse the angle, but it is a good one. See the way I get the left hip moving back now. Okay, that's a continuation of me turning. And now you can start to see, as we come in towards this area, see the difference between where my shoulders are. So to keep it simple, because I keep my head nice and still, and I let my lower body continue to rotate around, this induces a separation. Separation basically just means that my lower body is rotating at a different angle or more independently from my upper body, and this produces that tilt, which is what you want to feel. Okay, that is my point. So as you start the downswing, you would want to feel moving down in towards that lead leg whilst keeping your trail forearm up to the sky. And then when you hit the ball, what it should really feel like is that your kind of lead hip moves out of the way, your head's focusing on the back of the ball, and you should feel more tilted. See what I'm doing here? Not this. And that is the magic move. Hopefully it helps. I'll see you soon.